Richards trying to scoot in there alone. It pinballs to the crease.
Let's get it.
Oh my God! Here we go.
You're listening to the Pod 3 Bullies Podcast with your hosts, Derek.
How you gonna get it, Bubba?
John. Matt Casey.
Unnecessary, but totally necessary.
And Cody.
What's not to love?
Ladies and gentlemen, the long-awaited return of the favorite podcast for all you three people listening. The Pod
all the
Bullies,
people who are on it.
everybody, it's been 6 months,
6 months,
guys.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously,
my last
6
notes
months.
in my book are February 13th.
Wait, do you label your
February?
notebook like a
You're
like
goddamn straight.
one of John's students?
Dear diary,
It's the chisel,
February
right?
13th. It's been far too long.
The thing is he's I gotta ask his wife, Kristen, what's the date?
Oh
Wait,
boy!
By the way,
Like I said-
Derek, are you in Buffalo Bill's lair? I just noticed this.
I
don't know what's worse,
I-
yours or Hoagie's right now. I mean, I'm not sitting
This
in
is
lap
the-
luxury here.
laundry room / children's room / office. So it's a multi-purpose room.
It's a triple threat.
That's
what I'm gonna
Buffalo
call it.
Bill's lair.
Just stands well.
Lotion in the basket.
We'll make it work. Anyways, no, very long time it has been since we've done this, and what better time to get into it, obviously, than now. Everybody's got their kids. We're all good. Those kids have a routine. So the boys are back in town to talk some hockey, guys. Well, I mean, I don't know how things are going with you guys. Mine's sleeping through the night.
Mine are too. Who's not sleeping through the night in somebody's background?
Right, yeah, what's going on? We got like masks going on in the background. What's up with this?
I don't know what's going on behind me.
Yo, well,
Yeah,
come on, Hoagie.
telling her.
I miss the days of her banging pots and pans.
Right? Yeah, it's a little different. Woo.
Hold on.
One
So it's been 6 months. Have you guys
Been
recovered?
recovered?
From the season that was?
Yes, I
Yes.
have actually.
I'm still not there. I'm like
Really?
it really
No.
for the first time in my life I was like I can't watch a game anymore. But now I'm like now I'm back into it.
You know what's interesting though, Casey? Because I remember us talking back and forth and was like, as long as we were playing relevant hockey, we'd
Right.
be happy. So what happened with you?
I think it was because we had it in our hand. You know, we had it. All we had to do was win one game against Columbus or like, you know, Montreal. Instead, we lost like 8-0 or something like that. Like, I mean, it was that 8-game losing streak it tore my heart out and just crapped it out. It was brutal.
They flyed all over your forehead and then didn't even offer a washcloth.
Yeah, I know. Just left me there with a 10 on the side. So I don't know. I finally, like last week, like once they did the rope skate and stuff like that, I was like, okay, let me start getting back into it.
He's
And
ready.
now I'm back. It's official. I'm ready to get hurt again.
You know, it's funny.
I
'cause
think we
kinda
all are
forgot-
at this point.
I kind of forgot about the Flyers because they were so quiet this offseason. I mean, you know, obviously, like there were big things that happened, one big thing in particular, but no real moves were made. And it was one of those so and so is going to get traded. Somebody's got to get moved. And
Right.
nothing in that land happened where it's like after a while, I just kind of stopped thinking about them. Then I watched 2 weeks of Notre Dame football and I was like, "Oh,
Well, I was gonna wear my giant, obnoxious Miami, like it's borderline like the fake hat from Celebrity Jeopardy that Burt Reynolds wears. That and he's like, yeah, it's a funny hat. It's like a real giant orange hat.
I really thought you were going to say you were going to wear your Northern Illinois jersey."
During the Cowboys game, they showed a picture of a guy with a big Cowboys hat on, like one of those silly looking, like
How about
huge
them
Cowboys
boys?
hats. And I'm like, Oh, I hate you, man. I'm like, you make us all look bad, like really,
So does
really
the
bad.
team.
So does the team. Yeah.
That too. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I chimed in a little bit. I'm over it, honestly. I think there's been enough good news. Well, enough good news is in Michkov is kind of living up to the hype, and that's pretty much it. There's been some other crap, but
But is he though? What has he done?
what's new? What has Michkov done?
Yeah, what has he done? Like, I
He's
want to
really
believe, but everyone's
nice.
just like, ooh, look at him tie
Okay.
his skates. How
And
majestic.
I think this gets into a really interesting conversation. So let's snowball here.
Let's go.
But I'm going to
Oh,
pinpoint
first
one
black
play in
hole.
particular, and I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The play where he had that blind pass behind the net to Morgan Frost, where Frost finished it to the right of the goalie. I
Mhm.
think that vision is going to help no matter what line he's on. But I also believe, and I'm a firm believer of this, that if there is a line that consists of him and Frost, Michkov and Frost, and then whoever else plays the opposite wing, I think that Michkov could do so much better for Morgan Frost than anybody on this team could. And that, I think, is the key to Morgan Frost sticking around as a Flyer. So let's conversate. Anybody agree, disagree? I want to hear some opinions here.
I mean, listen, I don't even want to talk about Morgan Frost. I feel like let's save that for the 900 episodes. We're going to be going back and forth on that roller coaster.
When he starts to heat up and we're not in the playoff spot anymore.
Yeah, I think that the fan in me that's constantly disappointed, similar to Casey, is like I want to see something before I get really excited about Michkov. Like, obviously, listen, dude, he's branded as a superstar. Of course, you're gonna be a little bit excited. I can't cling on to everything he does until I start seeing it happen in real games, not one preseason game against the Washington Capitals.
In a rookie game. Yeah.
In a rookie game, yeah.
Right. But at the very least, seeing it this early on, I'm encouraged by it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, "Oh my god, it's incredible," but like, it's a good sign. It's better than it wouldn't if it wouldn't have happened.
I know, and I think that's the important point. Is I don't. Flyers fans, we feel like we're not allowed to have nice things, and like it's just a long, history of this.
Right.
Like, you know, we're in a psychologically abusive relationship with this team, and you know, we're just like we can't have nice things. Like, you know, it is what it is. With Michkov, like I want to believe, I want to get on board. And Derek, I think this is what you're alluding to, is that I would rather him see him do this stuff in these rookie games and in these preseason games versus like just be a bump on the log, you know, versus Kevin Hayes this thing and, you know, just half-ass skate. Like, I'd rather see, what do you have, a goal and an assist the other night? Or like,
is it just an assist, I think?
2 assists, something. I don't know, like, he's contributing. And you're right. Like, I know we don't want to talk about Morgan Frost, but if the benefit of him is going to be helping to lift up players around him, like, we can crap on Sidney Crosby, and rightly so. But the best thing that guy ever did was like lift up the likes of, you know,
Jake
every
Gensel.
player that, Jake Gensel,
Right.
you know, whoever else was on there. And so, you know, and he's done it for 20 years. Like, can Michkov do that? Probably not to the level, but like, can he have some kind of semblance of that? Hey, I'm on board. What I'm not on board with is like, ooh, did you see that jump over the boards? This kid's an athlete. Like, you know, like every little thing. Just pinprick, like, wow, do you see the way he tapes his skate? What a stud.
Right.
Tapes his
And it's like that one
tapes his
and it's
stick,
like that one play. Like, I'm sure, you know, he's got plenty of highlights and so it's like, oh, such a smart hockey player. Oh, look at the vision. It's like everything he does. Like, dude, skated backward.
He goes to the corners and bodies
You know,
up with the puck.
as a Flyer fan, though, what I'm waiting for is the pictures of him and Cutter Gauthier out to lunch somewhere to leak.
Well, no, I mean, could it be worse than him and Fedotov in the hot tub, like with the arms wrapped around each other with a glass of wine?
Because Cutter's going to be like, let me tell you all the reasons why you don't want to stay there.
Cutter's going to be like Kevin Hayes.
Oh.
He's assumed that Kevin Hayes. I'm allegedly. Sorry. Yeah, can't go around saying that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There is reason for excitement in there, and you know, right now they have him paired with Frost and Tippett, and it's like on paper, I'm like, cool, man. If that jives, hell yeah, that's like a really interesting combination of players. I think we all know that, like, it's a rarity that a line sticks together for
Sure.
82 games,
Yeah.
nonetheless 41 games, and so let's all pump the brakes on
especially with Torts at the helm too.
yeah. I mean, this guy's one back check away from being benched and in the press box.
I mean,
I do
it's
like
on
the
a hat.
extended
that
look, though.
line. That line doesn't really scream defensive responsibility, you know.
a lot of
Who
offensive
cares?
zone face-offs on that.
Yeah.
Listen, I
I've
don't
said
care,
it
but
before, though.
I happen to know a
I'm
head
okay
coach
with
that
it.
does.
Of course, but like I look at it too, like he's going to lean more so on the other guys to be that more defensively minded, if you will. If you can give me one line that is just focused mainly on offense, I'm okay with that. I don't need every single
Well, we
line,
need it.
top to bottom, being this just defensive juggernaut, or
Yeah,
at the
but
very
this is
least
a
defensively
This is a
sound.
Torts coach team. That's who they
I
are.
get that. But has Torts not essentially come out and said he's like Michikov's just going to kind of do his thing? I really don't think Torts is going to try to preach defensive, mindset to Michkov, because he knows that's not who he is. He needs
Yeah,
to
but he's
cater
still
to his
gonna learn it in
strengths.
the system.
I also think too, though, it's like I'm interested, and I really don't know. Has Tortorella caught a coached? This is the first time we've been doing this for a while.
Today.
Has coached a prospect with the star caliber of Michkov, and like this is going to be a learning moment for him too. He's saying that he's going to let him kind of freewheel and deal it, but it's one thing to say it; it's another thing to do it.
I mean, Panarin.
Now he had Line
True,
in
Panarin.
Columbus, and
No,
that Line didn't really work
Right,
out
and
there.
neither
That
did
sounds like a total.
Yeah. I think
Right.
Ronnie
Well,
is a
same
different
thing with
story.
Pierre-Luc
Mitchkov
Dubois.
has, right. I think Mitchkov just has this sense about him that he has a swagger. He knows he's good, but I think he still brings the work ethic no matter what he's doing in the lineup. So I think he's
Funny, when I
still
think
going
of
to
Russian, I don't
well.
really think of swagger. Is that just me? Like,
His suit at the draft 2 years ago screams otherwise. That screams swagger. No, I think I think Panarin's got to be the most relevant case study in Torts' career, at least, and even Torts will admit that he is a completely different kind of coach, or not. He's an evolved coach than he was in Columbus, and I still think he sticks to the core principles of responsibility up and down the ice. But I think if we've seen anything, whether it's with Panarin or more recently with Konechny, where he's just like, I got to shut my eyes and just let this kid be this kid for a little bit and let him do his thing that I could never imagine doing. And I think there's going to be some of that, but it's going to be a little bit of prove it too. It's like you can't just do that game one and then be like, oh, I'm going to half-ass it. And nothing that I've heard says that Michkov is half-assing anything. Like it sounds like he puts balls to the wall. And so I don't think it's there. It's just going to be like, are you fitting in the structure, or are you going to Bobby Brink this thing and get like bowling ball down to the minors?
And to be fair, you want him to buy
in Vancouver as well.
What's that?
Did he not coach? So. Was he there with Elias? He wasn't there with Elias Pettersson in Vancouver.
We always pretend that Vancouver didn't really happen because
that's true, because it rarely ever did.
Right.
And it was like it ties the AV, that martini drinking bastard.
But also, like, you want Michkov to kind of buy into the defensive responsibility a little bit. Like, of course, I want this guy to score 1,000 goals, but I also don't want him to be, a liability every time he's on the ice defensively either.
Yeah,
true.
I just want another two-way player, guys.
No, I'm not going to go that far. I don't want him to be a complete idiot out there on defense. Like, I want him to have his wits about him when it comes to that. But what I'm trying to say is that he needs to focus on offense. Like, let him be your goal scorer. If that means that Frost needs to be more defensively sound, if that's the line we're going to roll with, Tippett as well, lean on those guys. Like, I think I heard it on PHLY, and they were talking about Michkov cherry picking at the blue line, and I thought about it too, because I'm just like, I'm watching the last game against Washington and watching Michkov specifically, and I didn't notice a lot of that. So like, it's a good sign. Like, he's in the game. I think he had a couple breaks with his stick. Like he got a couple pass breakups with that, which is great. Active stick, fantastic in the defensive zone. But like, it's a one game. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, one preseason game where they won against the Caps 6-2. Like, good signs, but not the end all be all.
Can we all agree? I mean, and this is like beating the dead horse over and over and over again, but like if Frost is not paired, on a line with Michkov and it doesn't work, that's it, right?
Yep.
It's like it's finally got to be
If it does work, though, he's going to get a payday.
Make him
That's
fed off
the
money,
other
baby.
blade of the sword there.
What else during the are we done with Michkov? Can we get on until he ties his left skate?
What do you think is over under for points?
Over
I'm
under
not
for
even
points?
ready to do that yet.
Oh, I'm so ready. I think I bet it,
65.
actually. Is it 65?
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I bet he goes over though.
I definitely think so too.
I'll be happy if
think
he
he
reaches
does
the
it,
20
boys.
goal mark. I'll put it that way. If he gets 20 goals, like I'll be like, okay, all right, he did something.
Is he the Flyers' leading scorer at the end of the year?
No,
No?
I don't think so.
Top
I
three.
think Tippett will be.
Ooh,
Ooh,
kind of
I like
you
it.
kind of hope he will be, right, Casey? Because
After
it's like
signing
he's
that
been
deal.
around a little bit longer. You want him to be.
Well, he's big, he's fast, he's got a nasty shot. Like I think
You
Tippett's
said
in
that
for
about me
for a hell of a
once.
year.
Oh God.
And I had 3 kids
How long ago was that?
a fortnight or two ago. Let me tell you.
Fortnight ago. Oh boy.
All right, moving on.
I don't know.
Speaking of Russians, though,
Belarusian. Get it right.
what about the other Russian who isn't here?
That he's Belarusian. Kolosov.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's not Russian. I made that mistake once too, though. It's okay.
But he played in Russia.
If
Yeah,
ever
he did.
comes over
And
here,
I'll be
run
honest.
this country.
I have my thoughts about it. I've got a much longer drive to work now, so I have way too much time to think. And I just don't care anymore. I just don't. I'm indifferent to it. It's like, all right, the guy wanted to take his ball and go home, get paid by the Flyers, and not be able to play. It's like, dude, you signed a contract. Like, I mean, I don't know. This is a real slippery slope for me. And you guys take it away first because I've got way too many thoughts to just go first here.
I just feel like, I don't know, if I signed a contract and then didn't show up at work, they'd be able to terminate my contract.
But that's what he wants.
Right.
That's what he wants. He wants them to terminate it.
Well, good. Listen, if this guy doesn't want to play for us, I can't deal with this little drama show in the background. If he doesn't want to play with us, I don't care if it's because he hated Lehigh Valley. I don't care if it's because he just wants to go back to Russia. Let him go.
Yeah,
just let him go. I don't need the noise.
I'm paraphrasing, I think, Anthony Sanfilippo, who did a good job breaking down kind of the different scenarios here. But if the Flyers end up trading him for something, it's like, okay, fine. Like, we still have his rights, but we could also hold on to his rights and make sure he never plays another game in the NHL. And I hope that's what we do, because, like, guess what agent is going to be like, yeah, you probably shouldn't do that with the Flyers next time around. And so I think it's like, having dealt with agents in different, parts of work now, like, sometimes it's a larger picture thing where it's like, you're not going to F around with us anymore. Like, this is we're putting our foot in the sand here. Is that a term? Foot in the sand? Drawing a line?
Drawing the line in the sand.
Drawing the line in the sand.
Yeah, somewhere.
Ass in the lawn chair, foot in the sand.
Pass the cheese. Hoagie, what do you think, man?
I'm honestly over it. I can care less. I mean,
All right, thanks, Hoagie. Next one.
You're welcome. No, I mean,
great contribution, man.
He had a shot for you're welcome, John. I mean, he had a shot to have a goaltending situation, like a battle into camp with Fedotov, Arison, and himself. But I guess he just didn't want to have competition. He just wanted to start a job. And, like, I think we've made it pretty clear that you're not just getting handed a job; you have to fight for it. And
shocking,
right? Like,
and you're one pulled groin away from being at least a backup.
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, the dude was gonna play,
right?
They're like, they'll bring up who's
Peterson.
Cal Peterson. They'll bring him up because they're gonna have to now, and he was, by all intents and purposes, terrible for the Flyers
Dude,
last year.
but beach
But
ball.
now that's all they've got. Unless, I mean, there's E2 Maki Niemi or something like that is on a PTO right now.
Yeah,
They
great.
could use him, younger guy. Like, I don't know if he's going to be any good. If he is
Did
great, if
Michkov
he's
play
not,
goal?
oh, damn, it sucks.
Did
But like, like John said,
He did.
if
He did.
if I'm signing a contract and I don't show up to work, like, yeah, I'm getting shit canned. Like that's how a contract works. And for this to now be essentially, from what I understand, the request is toll it again. Like the Flyers are just throwing away what, $750K, another $750K this year to have that contract tolled. Like, enough's enough, man. Like
Do
this
they
is
have to pay
something's
him
got to
if he's
give,
not playing in the organization though?
because it technically counts towards the cap.
Oh, okay.
What
Yeah.
are you
So-
doing? What's
Cody?
happening?
I'm not doing anything.
Well, something's
I was
giving you a
flattered. I was
thumbs up.
Thumbs up from Hoagie.
I think it's because your arm is on your shirt. Take your arm off. Now we can't do it. Wow. You got the
Well,
touch.
yeah.
Wow. Amazing.
No, okay. But yeah, I don't know. Like I'm getting worried
Why is
that
it always me?
I
Remember
no
that
idea.
one time
I'm getting
we were
worried.
on Skype and all of a sudden
Yeah.
all of our heads were on like some sort of platform?
Jesus Christ.
Okay, anyway, go
Back
ahead,
to
Derek.
hockey talk here. I'm concerned that this is going to snowball and that too many prospects, and not just for the Flyers, but any team. Like we saw it almost to an extent with McGroarty getting out of Winnipeg and going to Pittsburgh too. Obviously, we've seen it firsthand with Cutter, Kolosov. They're going to hold their ground, draw that line in the sand, and say, "I'm not playing for you guys. Trade me." And apparently, the asking price for Kolosov, according to Danny Briere, is like a second-round pick. Who's paying that? Who is paying that for a guy with that track record? So, yeah, we're going to keep him. But, like, when is this? So, what does that say to other kids getting drafted, other kids overseas? And I get the whole thing with the KHL, only go over if you're a starter, only go over if you're going to be like an all-star caliber player. But, like, look at the opportunity that's presenting itself right now. You're coming over at a time where there's two goalies penciled in, not etched in stone, penciled in to be our 1A and white 1B. What better opportunity?
Whoever's playing hot.
What better opportunity? Like, and you're like you said, John, there's going to be injuries. Like, you're going to have a solid chance at the very least getting probably half a dozen, if not more, games in the NHL. Like, in my mind, he just blew his chance, and I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked if Danny Briere's like, "Yeah, come on over for your third year, and then we'll see if we re-sign you." Like, no, at that point, I'd be like, "Nah, screw you. Like, go back over to Russia and play hockey there."
I think though you do have to you have to question this aspect of it though. It's like this is the second prospect in less than a year that's saying that they don't want to play for us.
And legit prospects too. Like not like half-assed
right. Yeah, I mean, like
Kolosov,
I don't want to go
prospect.
I don't want to go as far as saying that like there's something wrong with the Flyers organization, but like that's a little concerning.
If you see a third one, then that's Kolosov, right?
Right.
Who drafted Kolosov?
Who's after
probably
Kolosov?
Fletcher. Right, so they're two
Fletcher
Fletchers.
drafted,
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, but
he promised them everything.
Yeah, but how many other prospects for different organizations go through the same thing and this doesn't happen?
I don't know.
Right. Like it did just happen with McGroarty.
Don't hear about it.
But like, yeah. But I don't know. Like, you're right. I'm concerned that this ends up being a pattern. Like, who's to say? Christ, I mean, we're seeing some great stuff out of Jet Lachenko so far in camp. Who's to say this time next year he's like, no, I'm going to ditch a meeting with John LeClaire. I'm going to request a trade out of here. I don't want to play for the Flyers anymore. Like, if that happens, 100% we're in trouble.
He signed his ELC.
He did?
Yeah.
And see how much we missed in 6 months.
And why is that? Because he's not in college, so he is
right.
It's
because it's the Canadian junior, right? Like you can play under your your ELC. I think what's the word? Like it's pushed a year.
Yeah,
So if he
your
goes,
eligibility.
if he goes
Slide.
back to Guelph or wherever he was,
Mhm.
it slides to the next year.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
It doesn't start until he plays an NHL game.
Until he plays his 10th NHL game.
Yeah, so he could get the
Right.
9-game
Yeah, you're
tryout.
right. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. Do you
I-
think we
you
see
know
a
what?
9-game tryout for Jet Lachenko?
I wouldn't mind it.
I would. I don't want to say it. Like, sorry.
I-
Like,
be a fan.
I think we have enough young talent on this team at the moment that
Right.
still needs to like prove itself. It's not like he's coming in to a team of like wily veterans and it's like, hey, we got a spot on what is he, right winger, left winger? I don't know where he plays, but
It's a
like
center.
Center.
right.
Change your opinion because we're
There it
pretty
is.
good on center right now.
Play goal. Can he play
Can
goal?
he play goalie? Yeah. I don't know if it's. I mean, maybe it helps him, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. I just feel like the reality is he's not staying up here. Like he's not going to stay up for the bulk of the season, and we have enough young guys that need that time just as much. And I think it'll stunt his growth because how much playing time is he really going to get?
He's
on a
also
third
18
line,
years old.
Yeah, he just turned
I
18.
just turned 18
just
in
turned
August.
18, fresh.
I mean, and we've seen in the past how well putting
legal.
too many kids on the ice works out for other teams, a la Edmonton, Buffalo.
Yeah,
it just doesn't work. I mean, in
Philadelphia
Casey,
Flyers, Nolan Patrick.
to bounce kind of off of what you were saying too, if this was last season and the expectations were low, at least my personal expectations were low, I'd be like, fine. But like, I want to make the playoffs. Like I know realistically we probably won't, but I want to make the playoffs.
Okay, so let's get into that for a second. 'Cause this is where I'm really like messed up here. Like last season, we had no expectations.
We all are.
We snuck up on people, and then we ended up coming up short. This year, like people are like, okay, we got there, but we didn't make any moves. We lost the mighty Sean Walker, who did a great job. And like, don't get me wrong, like I think he was a great player, but like I feel like he's very replaceable. And now everyone's like, okay, we are at no way, shape, or form even close to a playoff team. I'm like, something's not, and we lost Carter Hart, who have fun in Nashville. Is that where he wanted to go? Did you hear about this?
Yeah,
No, he like wanted to go train in
yeah.
Nashville.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
something weird.
And they won't
I
let
think
him in
he's
the
trying to
country?
jump down to Mexico. and get out of
they
here.
denied
I was
him
going to
the
say
border
something
works.
about jail and ice, but I'm just going to leave that one alone.
So okay, look at that. And so I think I lost where I was. God damn it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
but Casey, the thing is, I think the thing that's got me-
expectations. Sorry.
right, and I think the thing that's got me kind of a little worried is everything else seems to add up. Like, okay, we were almost a playoff team last year. We've got pretty much the same team now. You've got Mitchkov, but the goalie situation
Yeah.
is terrifying.
Yes.
Mhm.
Goalie situation is terrifying. I think you're in like maybe Ersan can make the step up, or Fedotov, not Fedotov, Fedotov.
Jackass for changing that on us.
It's Fedotov, not Fedotov.
Maybe they are better, but like I also feel like Drysdale, if he can stay healthy, it sounds like he bulked up something vicious.
gained like 20
My
pounds.
boy Risto, I'm not giving up on Risto. If he's
let me interject. He played power play quarterback tonight.
I was going to say he was already hurt.
Yeah, and what they're losing?
I think they're losing 1-0.
So I don't know. I don't want to like get my hopes up, but I'm like, I don't see how we're not at least still in competition for a playoff spot
Bubble spot.
this year. Yeah.
Goaltending.
Goaltending. Right.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I mean, you look at as we ended
What
the
else
season
is
last
new?
year. Yeah. How that Fedotov got the money he just got for what he showed in those last few games, I really should go play goalie because I could probably do that and get a cool million.
You know there's more to it than that.
Well, I mean, everybody had pictures of Chuck, but that doesn't matter anymore.
Well, not anymore, but the ink's already dry on that deal. There's nothing he can do about it.
Right.
No, I mean, I guess back to like the whole Luchenko thing. Like, would it be cool to see 9 games? Sure, I'd love it. But like, you're right, Casey. I think you bring up a good point. There's a lot of young talent, and I think honestly, and I know it is just 1 game, but I really liked what I saw from Bobby Brink. I thought he did really well against Washington in the preseason game. We'll see how that goes. I think too, Tyson Forrester is going to take a big step, or at least is posed to take a big step. And then, I mean, Cates is still in the fold. Frost, the lineup's pretty. There's not many.
Really
so here, I'll read it off for you, Casey. Brink, Cates, Couturier, Delorier, Farabee, Forster, Frost, Hathaway, Konechny, Lawton, Mitchkov, Paling, Tippett.
I don't hate it. Like, I don't hate our forward lineup.
I kind of forgot about Delorier.
Most people do.
Big
I mean, like, look,
Stick Nick.
And then, like, so what do you? I mean, so your top 2 lines, you kind of have like some kind of modge podge of those guys. Then you have Lawton, Cates, and Paling or somebody like that on the third line.
Talk about the most boring third line in all the land.
Hey, let them do their thing.
Just wait till
that'll be a
is on the pod,
defensively
all right?
sound line. You want to talk about two-way forwards?
Yeah, you got Big Garnet, and then you got Big Stick Nick, and
Hathaway, Delorier,
and then somebody else got to play in there. But I mean, maybe that is Cates. I don't know. But
It'll be again.
Did you say Brink though, buddy? Because Brink, we should probably put on the third line.
Yeah. Put Lawton down there, honestly.
Well, was
on the fourth line? I'm cool with that. Or Paling. Either
Paling,
or, honestly.
Paling's a bottom sixer, but like Paling showed something. Like I wouldn't mind him on the third line.
I like him as a 3C, honestly. Like I'd rather keep Lawton on the wing, which would likely be the third line. However, if that means that we have to put Paling down, I think I'd rather have Paling at 3C and have Lawton play 4C if need be.
That's fine. I also feel like they made it pretty clear last year by his playing time that Delorier is like he's not going to get a full 82.
No,
they'll bring him in when they play whatever that meathead is in New York.
Rempe.
Yeah.
Good.
Is anybody concerned about the health of your old faithful captain, Sean Couturier?
The health?
Health.
I mean,
crustacean.
Yeah, of course.
Captain.
How are you not?
We haven't talked about him.
Well, actually, the thing is so, Hoagie, like when we were going to talk about kind of the one thing we want to see out of preseason and training camp, the only thing I want to see is health. I don't.
Yeah.
Good.
No, like mysterious injury 5 games into the season that could have been corrected on day 2 of training camp.
Body.
Right. Yeah, him, Risto,
Ryan Ellis,
Jamie Drysdale.
Yeah.
All those guys. Yeah. Just be healthy, please.
Drysdale putting on 18 pounds, and apparently it's all upper body. Like, considering his ailment last year was an upper body injury, like that's encouraging. I think I'm looking for decent size. Looking for decent things.
Real well, yeah.
No, he's talking about skating.
Risto, I'm concerned about though. I mean, have we had any like real updates? He's playing tonight, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Remember, Hoagie, you said he's quarterback in the power play.
I kind of feel like we've forgotten about Risto, and if it's he and Zamula on a third line D pair, are they both righties though?
No, Zamula's a left.
I'm 100% fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
I kind of like it, but
it takes a lot of pressure off of Risto.
Yeah.
Except.
So here's a question then: if that's the case, and we have to send a guy like Adder down, do you think he gets claimed?
Does
he has to pass through waivers. He does have to clear waivers.
But not if he starts the year with the
No, I believe he still has to clear.
Oh, really? Whatever. Yeah. I've never been an Adder fan.
So right now, Elite Prospects has 8 defensemen listed: Adder, Drysdale, Eric Johnson, Risto, Travis Sanheim, Nick Sealer, Cam York, Zamula.
Yeah, I mean,
Eric Johnson sitting in the press box.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get he'll be the stall treatment, and he knows that too.
Right?
Yeah,
you know, put him in every.
Thank God he freaking retired.
Can we agree though that if Mitchkov didn't come over, Zamula is probably not on this team?
You think they're doing it just for the
I do.
camaraderies?
Yeah.
Yes and no. Like I think Zamula's got a place on the team, but it's no bigger than a third pairing capacity or third. Yeah,
You
But
could do
remember,
worse.
we weren't even like last year. We were like, this freaking guy can't play up here, and then he just quietly kind of like, you know, catwalked his way into
Yeah.
a lineup, and he ended up being a regular.
Right.
On third
At one
pair.
point, we were oversaturated with defensemen last year, and let's not forget how quickly that can change.
Mhm.
Yeah.
true.
So,
Now, like my curiosity is because last year we saw a lot of the pairing between Sealer and Drysdale, and that was kind of your third pair there. And if Drysdale is going to take on more of an expanded role as opposed to that, third pairing power play quarterback, power play specialist, like is that going to mean that we're going to see Drysdale up on the second pairing and then that frees up a third pairing spot? Because
What-
like
no, wasn't
a
it
lot's
was
going to hinge
Sealer
on
and
that.
Walker were like the second pairing last year.
Well,
weren't they?
yeah, but then Walker got traded, obviously,
Right.
and then Drysdale did play. I feel like he played a
Couple
good bit with
games.
Sealer. Yeah.
Handful.
So like, right? I don't know. Like, is Drysdale ready for second pairing responsibilities?
I think he has to be at this point. I think he has to be.
Okay.
Yep.
I
agree.
listen, like we said, we want this team to make the playoffs, but this is when you throw the kids into the fire, especially
Yeah.
not like kids like Jet Lachenko, but like Jamie Drysdale. He's been in the league for a minute, right? It's time to see what this guy can do,
And he's only 22.
Right.
right? But that's like
Right.
40 in
not-
hockey years.
Yeah, but he's defenseman. They take
Well, for
longer to cook.
defenseman too, though.
Oh, okay, so it's like 35.
Yep.
Good point.
Okay.
Good point, Hoagie. Look at that.
No, they talked about. I mean, Drysdale talked about it in his one of his availabilities last week, and then Flyers Daily talked about it a little bit today as well. But I like the fact that like he and York, and I think they said Garnett, Bobby, who else? There was like
Forrester.
one or two others. Forrester, like they were all
And
there
Aldo
all
Fisher.
summer, and they're like that little core, like that's a pretty like legit group of young guys who seem to be invested in this.
Right.
So I don't know. I feel like there's one of the things that nobody has talked about very much is the locker room stuff and how good it
Right.
was last year. And for Torres to say that, I do think it actually means something because I feel like he would be the first to be like, this locker room is ass, get it out of here. And
Well, he's
so
done that.
Hey guys, can I stop you for a second? So the Flyers are losing 4-0.
Ooh.
Cal
Yep.
Peterson had 5 save attempts, 2 saves.
Oh my god.
Yes,
so
and 3 goals in the last like 2-3 minutes, something like that.
Yeah.
dude.
Like we were saying.
Are we out of
Cal Peterson-
buyout?
Thanks, LA. Yeah.
Hold on. Can we backtrack 1 second? Whatever happened to Ryan Johansson? Where's he?
Oh, he's
He's
terminated.
what? Yeah, terminate the contract.
Oh, good.
All
Breach
right,
of
they saw that
contract.
video of him at the
We don't
wedding
have to
moving
pay
around.
him
They're
or
like, "You're
anything?
not injured."
Yeah, breach
Nope.
of contract.
They'll settle it. They'll
Wow.
settle it outside of the. Yeah, I mean,
They'll settle it
Johansson's
outside
gonna fight
in
it.
Tortorella.
Wait. Speaking of contracts, did you see who went to Russia today?
Oh yeah, Tony D. Tony
Tony
D's
D.
playing in the KHL.
Tony D.
The odds of that guy getting pulled into the military are strong.
Oh,
He
dude,
fits in so
that'd
well
be
for
hilarious.
that place.
God,
But I mean, yeah,
he's
I guess
gonna hate it there.
He and Wade Allison can hang out together.
Oh, he's
Oh,
another
I
one.
forgot he went there too.
Yeah.
Wow. Preseason, we're not talking about Wade Allison finally taking the next step.
Right, the next step overseas.
All right. So did we get to what we're excited about? Or what we're petrified about?
Are
What
we
are we talking
excited about anything?
We sound like a bunch of hyenas tonight.
We do. Well, we're back.
Obviously. First
We're
night
not
back.
gonna
We'll
dust
get,
off.
we'll get back into the swing of things.
You know what I think? This is the last thing I want to say because we got to wrap this up. I got to go to bed. But it is going to be interesting to see. I think there's a lot of forwards and there's a lot of young forwards too. Like, what's going to happen with what's his name? Shamu Tuamala?
Look, Hoagie calling time. Sham, are you? Wow. What's Hoagie calling timeout for here?
Phillies
What the
won
hell's
the
going
NL
on?
East.
I don't care. Anyway, back to Shamu. But like, what if what if Shamu does well? You know,
I don't think.
I mean, I'd rather give him a look than Jet Lachenko. At least this year.
Right.
See what he's
I
about.
think you're right. Now, here's a question for you too. Like, because the blue line right now, I'm looking at 10 defensemen. There are a lot too. Emil Andre.
Oh, yeah.
What are his chances to make the team out of camp?
I still don't think he's there, but you never know.
And things are a little clogged right now.
Yeah, they're very clogged.
Yeah, they're very high on Hunter McDonald as well. Big,
Is he
big
is
guy.
he the beast?
Yeah.
He's the beast. Yeah. Do you think the fact that the Rangers have Rempe like factors into the liking towards this guy?
I think it's good to have a guy like that. I mean, look,
Agreed.
nobody's going to confuse Nick Delorier with like a good hockey player, but what he's brought to the table is like our good hockey players can be good hockey players, and he'll back them up when he needs to.
Right.
And I can
Right.
see
They
that
told
same
each
kind of
other at your best friend now.
right. I can see that same thing with what's it, McDonald? What's his name?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Ronald.
Yeah, Hunter McDonald.
I
Ronald.
keep on thinking Andrew McDonald. I almost
Andrew
puked.
McDonald is it's his dad.
As far as we know, same type of skill set, but
Taller.
So I think it's good to have guys like that. I just don't know if players they're coming to find your
Derek,
well.
it's like your old place.
new segment on the Pod Street Bullies. Like, what toy did Derek just hit by accident in the kids' room?
The Pod Street pop off.
But I think it's good to have somebody like that. I just don't know unless he has if he has like the beast mode skill set, that's great. Unless he has like another piece of that, I don't know how many games he's going to get on a regular season. Like, you can't just be the hard hitting defenseman. Like, even Ratko Gudas turned into actually a pretty
Captain Radko.
Captain Radko.
Yeah. Like,
Never.
Put some respect on that man's name.
He was basically a goon in DC, and then he came to us and he was like a goon, but he was our goon. And then he actually turned into a pretty decent player.
I'm actually starting to think that Derek is Radko Gudas right now.
There you go.
That was the plan. That was the plan.
Jebediah Gudas.
But no one's confusing me for a tough guy. Let's be honest.
Jeb Gudas.
No, I mean, this, like, I'm looking forward to these camp battles, especially because there's a lot of talk about like Jennings and Addard, and like I like Addard, but there's no room for the guy. Same thing with Jennings. There's no room for any of those guys. I mean, even if they keep 8 defensemen, like, are you going to keep these younger guys to sit them on the bench? I don't like that. I think that's a terrible idea. So Johnson will stay, and he'll be the 7th guy. At that point, everybody else is young anyway. It's like someone's got to sit, and who's that going to be? Like, you're not going to sit Sealer. He's the only older guy I could think of. Definitely not sitting Sanheim for that price tag. So I don't know. Zamula, like, you could sit Zamula.
Yeah, no, I think
Sealer's the oldest one of them all.
Who is?
Sealer is actually
Sealer.
He's our.
But they're not benching him. No. That's the heart and soul, man. Heart and soul of the blue line.
And I think in a weird way, it's great. It's a great problem to have, because it means that, hey, whoever makes that 6th spot, whether it's Zamula or Attard or Emil Andre,
I hate the way people say that.
or whoever it is, it means that they're going to actually have to have earned it over those other guys, versus like, okay, I guess we need somebody. Yeah. Or if it's Andrew McDonald's son, whatever his name is.
Brother.
So be
much younger brother.
Shamu McDonald.
All right. Is it bedtime, John? Do we need to sign off?
Dude, it's bedtime.
Oh, you weenie.
Hey, you know what's awesome, John, is that the UN's in session this week, and so like the whole river's closed down. So like my whole boat schedule is so messed up. It's amazing.
Good. Yeah, I'm not really affected by the UN thing.
I was like, what's going on Thursday? It's messing up. It's like, it's like Netanyahu in town. It's like, this should be chill.
Yeah, no.
A nice chill day in New York.
I just get to deal with Arkham Asylum on the subway. The Joker is everywhere.
Oh no!
You want to know how I got these scars?
Homeless guy over there stabbed me for 50 cents and half a cup of coffee. All right. Well, yeah, it's it's good to be back. It's good to talk some Flyers. It's been a while, boys. So glad we could do this. It has been too long, but we'll get back to doing this regularly as the preseason goes by. We'll have more to talk about too as the roster slims down, as games are happening, things like that. Other stuff's going to develop. Could be some signings. I know it's shit like that happens every now and then in preseason, but we'll see. Regardless, there will be something to talk about. But until next time,
I look forward to watching hockey in November when we're actually like playing in a reasonable time zone.
Right.
I know.
Until then, I'm
What
still
the
going to
hell are
focus
they
on the
doing to
Orioles
me?
as long as they make the playoffs.
So is it the first 3 games at 10 o'clock? Is that what it is?
I feel like we do.
Really?
It's at least the
we're
first
on the
two.
West Coast swing, like the first week and a half of the.
At least
What
it's
night's
a
the-
Friday night, so I could get like through the first half of the first period of the first game. It's on
What's
Friday.
the what's opening night for the Flyers?
It's against
They've
the
got
Kings or the Oilers or
the
one of
11.
those teams.
I think it's like Vancouver,
Ooh.
Seattle, Edmonton. Like it's
Oh my
right. I think,
God.
well, don't they
Vancouver,
start the
Calgary,
season?
Edmonton.
They start the season back to back.
Yeah, Vancouver, then
That's a
Calgary,
lot.
and then they've got the Oilers,
Batman.
and then the Kraken,
Jesus.
and then the Canucks again.
Oh.
Well, that's going to be the week that I am in between jobs, so that'll be nice. I can stay up and watch that game.
in the laundry room.
I hope Cameron doesn't sleep that week.
Yeah. No, that'll be late at night. Wife will be in bed. I'm watching it on the big screen.
All right. Could we talk about where we're watching the game, weeks from now at a different time, please?
You can sign off at any time, man. Like, just letting you know.
Just
Find
no,
out.
because I need to make sure that you end this, Derek, because sometimes you tend to ramble.
I will drag this
You
on
say
for
regardless
3
like
more
7
hours,
times.
talking
Like,
about
regardless.
absolutely nothing.
Let's go. I
I'll
actually
sit
just
here
want
for
to hear
3
what
hours.
John's latest Twitter handle is because I couldn't find him today.
Oh, he logged off of Twitter a long time ago.
All right.
I can't say what it is online. Casey will. Wait till we go.
Yeah, you thought Pod Muncher was bad. It's worse.
Oh no.
All right.
All right, John, sign us off.
Oh shit.
Oh, look at John forgetting how to do his job.
You can find this podcast on all your various podcast listening receptacles, including, what even is around anymore? Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube.
Read the bottom line. John, shut up. Read the bottom ticker, everybody.
Right.
Podcasting.
That's where you can find us.
I said that one. Amazon, I
Reset
said that one.
tackles.
Spreaker. If you really, I don't think people use that.
Podcast, made
Podcast.
it.
Yeah. Stitcher.
Podcast.
Castbox.
There you go.
By the way, Castbox.
When I
is
said
like
read it,
totally
I
like-
meant like the people watching read it, not you, John.
Google Podcast. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
That's it for us, folks. It's been a blast, but we'll see you next week.
Bye now.
Bye now.